Greetings and welcome to yet another episode of Morrowind Mini-Mod Showcases, and as always, I'm your host, Elf Guy, and today we have a small batch of house mods for reviewing pleasure called Morrowind Abodes by the Morrowind Abodes team. And some of the older members of the community will probably remember this package of mods, because these were some of the first house mods released for Morrowind, dating back to June of 2002, and the Morrowind Abodes team even had their own website with, promotional material and all that. They released 6 mods in total, each one adding a house to a different city, including Balmora, Ald-Ruhn, Dagon, Gnisis, Suran, and Vivec. Now I can't remember if any of these actually ever made it into the Planet Elder Scrolls Hall of Fame, but they were certainly, rather popular in the early 2000s, providing nice, small, and mid-sized homes ready to be moved into in a variety of locations. And anyway, before we get started, you'll find down the links for all these mods down in the video description below. So let's just go ahead and get started here, and we'll be starting out with your Balmora Abode, one of the first of the Morrowind Abodes mods to be released. This one adds a Halali-style manor carved into the hillside here in the upper class district of Balmora, and if this looks familiar, that's because the Mega Mod compilation Balmora Expanded does in fact already include this mod. Something to keep in mind if you, already have that installed. And inside you'll find a rather nicely finished 2-story Halali abode to, call your own, which does have a decent set of decorations already without going overboard. There's still plenty of space to add your own stuff, and most of the tables and bookshelves in here are, devoid of clutter. And going upstairs to the second floor, you'll find a small display hall in a side room with shelves for you to use, and of course a master bedroom with a large bed in the center for a comfortable night's sleep, as well as storage and a welcome note left by the authors and lists the full, team of Morrowind Abodes on their website, which I'm pretty sure isn't around anymore, but don't quote me on that. Moving on to our next house here, we have the Vivec Abode, which is probably, one of the more creative and atmospherically designed homes included in this package, which adds an apartment for you to call your own along the Vivec Foreign Quarter, and it has a rather nice entry hall here with a waterfall and garden. And here on the first floor, you'll find the master bedroom, which of course comes with a bed, and also some storage and a couple of, tables for you to use. And right next door is actually a sort of display hall, or, possibly a kitchen-like space. Works either way, I suppose. And there's plenty of bookshelves and chests in here to, store and display loot regardless. You also notice a rather liberal usage of fireplaces in this abode. And upstairs, you'll find a more traditional display hall that's really nicely finished and decorated, including flowers and a fresco, which is, a nice touch. And next we're going to be dropping in at by far my personal favourite house in this package here, your Dagon Abode. And this has a rather decent looking shack atop one of the hills outside of Dagon, with a really nice perch that provides some excellent views of the surrounding Ald-Ruhn ruins. And you'll note that this abode has a good mix of exterior lighting that makes for a rather atmospheric looking abode in the evening and nighttime hours especially. And of course, it also comes with a small balcony out back, including chairs for you to, sit down and enjoy the view with. Now, this has always been my favourite abode from Morrowind Abodes because, I'm just a big fan of Ald-Ruhn ruins, and while this is certainly a small home, it just fits right in with the Shilgorod region here, and, it's really a quite scenic place to live. And yes, I have actually used this one as a personal home in one of my previous save games before. But anyway, going inside, you'll find an, again, kind of small but cozy shack to call your own, with some Duma items mixed in, which, feels like a natural addition given the nearby ruins. And while it isn't big, there's enough storage here to store, most of your stuff. And now going back to the Ascane Isles region, our next house on our tour here is your Suran Abode, located here in the upper district of Suran. And this is a fairly modest looking, sort of Halali style tower that of course has some rooftop seating, though you can't really quite see that here. And oddly enough, despite the Halali base exterior, the inside of this tower is actually Imperial, divided into about 4 or 5 separate floors, with trapdoors going in between them, including the first floor, which has a sort of study area and a lot of display space, with tables and bookshelves. And going downstairs, you'll find another display hall with a number of tables, shelves, and, plenty of storage containers to go around to, store all your hard-earned loot. And up on the second floor, though, you'll find the master bedroom, and you'll notice that these houses are all very practical and functional in terms of design, with every conceivable surface dedicated to providing areas for you to, throw your own items onto. So you'll have plenty of room to display various treasures and artifacts in these abodes. And moving on to one of our last homes here, we have your Ald-Ruhn abode, which is a simple looking, single a Radoran style abode on the outskirts of Ald-Ruhn. And inside is a simple single room abode that's, again, like all these houses, fairly nicely finished, but overall lacking in clutter, so as to allow you to, add your own touch. And, these are pretty good homes if you're just looking for a package that provides a number of different architecture styles, as well as plenty of display space. But going on to our final house here, we have your Gnisis abode. And this one is actually a cavern house, which for Gnisis isn't, all that unusual. And this is a rather interesting and sort of unique setup, I would say. With, again, a fair number of furnishings and a lot of containers, tables, and other bits of furniture up on these wooden platforms to make for a rather interesting looking home. And that pretty much wraps up this episode of Morrowind Mini-Mod Showcases. Morrowind Abodes is certainly a bit of a dated set of mods, but nonetheless, still perfectly functional, and definitely worth checking out. And either way, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.